You're listening to the Grumpy Stew podcast, the podcast for and about flight attendants. And we welcome you to the show. Hello and welcome to the Grumpy Stew podcast, the podcast that is for and about flight attendants. My name is Dylan. I'm your Grumpy Stew. We invite you to sit back, relax, and enjoy today's show. Today's podcast is going to be about the stupid shit that the passengers say and do. And here's something. I might have mentioned this yet on the first episode. I have a shoebox full of just virtually every single rotation I've ever worked. I print out the trip, and I keep it in my pocket, and I take notes. And it could be anything. It could be just like, the flight time, something like that. But when a passenger says or does something particularly stupid, or if I think of a funny joke, I write it down on the thing, and I save it. So I was going through my shoebox. I got thousands of these freaking trips and rotations printed out. I haven't even gone through all of them yet. I've spent a good solid 3 hours going through these things. Haven't even read all of them yet. And I just have like a small stack of rotations here in my hand that have notes written on them. Sometimes, when something happens on board, I think I'm going to have to write a report about it. I do keep contemporaneous notes so that way I can write an accurate report and cover my ass later. I might have a few of those in this stack. Sometimes I just make little comments about passengers. I've been kind of going through this stuff. So some of these trips I haven't even thought about in years. I'm looking at the names of the flight attendants and the pilots and everything. I haven't even thought about these people in a long time. It's kind of nostalgic. So I'm just going to kind of start off the top and read these. Some of them are kind of in the form of a script. Oh, God, these people are so stupid. Oh, okay, so this first one I'm looking at. This was from New York to San Juan, and part of the service going to San Juan is everybody in economy gets a complimentary sandwich and a snack. All the sandwiches are the same. There's no difference unless someone pre-orders a special meal like a Hindu meal, kosher, something like that, vegetarian, whatever. All the sandwiches are the same. They're all like turkey sandwiches or something. So I hand the passenger a sandwich. He goes, "What is it?" I go, "It's a sandwich." "Is it vegetarian?" "Nope, it's turkey." "Well, I can't eat that." "Well, okay. Well, have you ordered the vegetarian option?" No. "Well, okay then." And I kept on moving. Bye-bye. I don't care about your vegetarianism. That is your choice. Be prepared. I don't know what to tell you. Oh, okay. This next one, this is pretty recent. I remember this one. This guy, on the in-flight entertainment system, this guy was playing the video bingo. And he won. And I guess he was under the impression that he was due some sort of prize. So he goes, "Hey, do you have customer review cards?" "Review cards?" "Well, I just won a game of bingo, and I didn't get my prize. Who do I go to about that?" This dude was completely serious. He wanted to complain because he didn't get a prize for winning a video game. Okay. He's a special kind of snowflake. Okay, what's this next one here? "Care for a beverage?" "Pepsi." Sorry, we only have Coke." "Pepsi." "Coke?" "No Pepsi." "Pepsi?" "No Pepsi." "Coke." "Coke, okay." "Coke." "Oh, okay." All right, so I guess he got his Coke. I don't really quite remember that guy. Oh, that does remind me of a funny one, though. I was doing a beverage service in economy. I get to this little Korean guy. He's in a window seat. I'm asking everybody in this segment of seats what they want to drink. I get to this guy, ask him what he wants to drink. He goes, "Coke Air, please." Sorry, what? Coke Air, please? I'm sorry, how do you spell that? What is... Oh, it right, Coke, but no sugar. And I'm just completely cock air. I mean, I say to the guy, that might take a couple of minutes. Do you have a few minutes to wait? Cock air. I mean, come on, buy me a drink first. No, the lady next to him was like, I think he means Diet Coke. I'm like, oh, Diet Coke. He said cock air. I was completely confused by that. The fuck is cock air? What are they serving people in Korea? This is an important question. What are they serving people in Korea? Cock air. Oh, okay. Oh, so this next one I found looks like I've just taken a couple of notes on a couple of particularly stupid passengers. Okay, dude asked for a veggie burrito with no veggies. I think that was in line. Oh, I remember. I remember this one. I was on a sit in San Francisco. There was like some burrito place in the food court. And this dude in front of me in line asked for the veggie burrito with no veggies. I mean, it's like, why don't you just ask for the steak burrito, dude? You fucking moron. I'll have the veggie burrito, but hold the vegetables, please. Don't care for those veggies. Let's see, what's this one? I told you guys about Mr. 1C on the last podcast. On episode 1, I mentioned 1C, the guy that took his shoes and socks off, picked his toenails, and ate it. And I forgot to mention that he also picked his nose. That's on the list of things that he did. And let's see, on the same flight, dude in 6C tweezed his eyebrows razor thin into like a little strip, and then filled in the rest with a pencil. Because that makes a lot of sense. Why don't you just... Oh, and there's another note. I remember this. This is at least 5 years ago. I remember this. We enter security in DFW. And we kind of go around little x-ray machines and shit, and we're leaving. And this big old fat guy is putting his shoes on, and he's bent over to tie his shoes. And you can see the crack of his ass, but you can also see toilet paper sticking out of the top of the crack of his ass. And I'm pretty sure that was his feet I was smelling in there. It was horrendous. It was horrendous. I'm pretty sure the people who wrote the Geneva Conventions would have an opinion about that. That's cruel and unusual. Okay, here's one. Where's 15A? It's in row 15, seat A. Oh, okay, thanks. Yeah, no problem. You're welcome. Right down that way, right behind row 14. People, I tell you, people. Okay, next thing on my little stack here. Okay. Oh, Jesus. Of course, it's a lavatory one. I don't know how to operate the door in the lavatory. Oh, okay, no problem. You just turn the knob. But it says push. Yep. Turn the knob and push. Kind of at the same time, like a door. Oh, okay. Really complicated. These lavatory doors. That's if you can find it. That seems to be half the battle for these people. So, I see there's a lab in the back. Yep. So, okay then. I guess you wanted permission to go to the lab with the seatbelt sign on. Nope. Not happening. Seatbelt sign's on, sir. Hey, do you have a copy machine? A coffee machine? Yeah, we have two. No. A copy machine. Oh, no. This is a regional jet. We don't have copy machines. Okay. Need to get some light on the subject. 1 second. You know, one sign that you're getting old and you notice you're turning into your parents is when you can't read stuff in low light anymore. I swear to God, last week this was not an issue, and today I'm struggling to read these notes in low light. I can't talk. I had to open a window and turn on a lamp. Man, I don't know what the hell's going on here with my tired old eyes. Let's see. Oh, okay. So this note is, it says, Mr. 1A insisted the first-class stew reserve plenty of red wine for him. He wants to make sure he gets his calories from booze. Okay, that sounds like a healthy choice. Sounds like a very healthy choice. You go right ahead and do that, sir. You drink your calories. Let's see. What's this one? Is that the restroom back there? Yep. Is there some sort of trick to opening the door? No, just turn the knob and push, much like the one at home. Oh, okay. I think I made that guy about 2 inches tall. I'm such an asshole, really. I mean, you guys should see me deal with these people. I'm surprised I haven't been fired. Let's see. Okay, in this one, I'm asking a lady if she wants anything else, but some dude next to her answers the question. Okay, so I'm asking the lady, anything else, Miss Ayers? Dude says, I think she wants something small and shiny. So I say, I think that's more in your department, not mine. I have nothing small or shiny. I don't even know what the hell that means. Let's see. Oh, here's one. These rows are too narrow. I have to get out of my seat to let other people in and out. Okay, well, I'll be sure to send an email to Boeing about that for you, ma'am. I remember that bitch. She was, this is not JetBlue. No kidding. What gave it away? The fact that nothing around here says JetBlue, that your ticket says X airline on it, the side of the aircraft says X airline, the napkins say X airline, our uniforms scream not JetBlue. Not JetBlue. There's nothing wrong with JetBlue, but this is not JetBlue. So, very astute observation, my dear. Sorry, sir, the seatbelt sign is on. That means I can't go to the bathroom? That's pretty much what it means, yes. All right, what's this next one? Isn't this just like a lovely podcast? I'm sure you guys are just rolling on the floor, laughing out loud. That's RFLOL, for those of you who don't know. Let's see here. Care for a beverage, sir? Yeah, I'll have a vodka tonic and a crayon. Okay, sir, I can do that. I notice he's not exactly reaching for his wallet, so care for a receipt, sir. Seriously? We're 2 hours late. We're only an hour and 15 minutes late, and I have no control over that. So, would you like a receipt? You sure about that? I'm pretty positive. I don't control those things, so would you like a receipt? I think he ultimately changed his mind on that one. Oh, I don't give shit away for free if it's not my fault. Sorry, I don't control the weather. I don't control the plane schedules, the pilot schedules, the rest issues. That's not my problem. Not my problem. They don't pay me for that. They pay me to serve drinks. Let's see. I would like a Heineken and water. Okay, Heineken and a water. Actually, make that a Heineken and fizzy water. Are you trying to be difficult? And his wife starts laughing at him. She goes, yeah, he does that all the time. Let's see. Okay, so I wrote down fart jokes. I guess I was bored. So I have a list of fart jokes. It was the kind of fart that could cause an accidental nuclear launch. Is that funny? Is that a joke? Anybody? The kind of fart that could knock out an elephant. Also, probably not very funny. Let's see. The kind of fart that could burn through the seat cushion. That's pretty serious. If your farts are burning through the seat cushion, you got some problems, my friend. The kind of fart that could cause premature death. Okay, that one kind of cracked me up. Okay. Oh, it's not a podcast unless there's a series of fart jokes. So we have time for one more fart joke? One more fart joke. Okay. The kind of fart that could put NORAD on full lockdown. All right. Let's see here. Oh, okay. So now this is an instance of notes I've made because I would have to write a report about somebody. I remember this guy. Okay, we're going from Vegas to Salt Lake, back to Vegas. So on our way to Salt Lake, we're boarding. And we're pretty much finished boarding. And here comes this guy. Turns out his name is Bird, okay? His last name is Bird, and he's got this fucking beak for a nose. It's very apropos. He's got this big giant schnoz, like a beak. It looks like a goddamn eagle schnoz. This thing was huge, okay? He could knock children over with it if he didn't pay attention. So this guy, so he's like in a window seat up in 12A, and this guy comes in kind of late. Boarding is mostly complete. The bins are closed. We're ready to go. And he kind of comes in, and he might be a little drunk, but, it's Vegas. If you turn around everybody that appears to be intoxicated, like, maybe they're a little flush or something, you'd have an empty plane. It's Vegas. You have to take some of them. That people that are seriously drunk, no, not so much. It's kind of a judgment call. So he might be intoxicated. He was rude, obnoxious, argumentative, disruptive, multiple packs complaint. Oh, and then, quote, because of this fucking asshole, in reference to the person in 12B. So this guy comes in. He's late. He refuses to check his bag. He opens up a bin, and he just starts rearranging the bin. And people are getting a little, for those of you who aren't flight attendants and maybe don't know this, people get a little testy when you start touching their stuff. They don't like that. They don't like it when people come around and start rearranging the bins and touching their stuff so other people's shit can get shoved in the bin. So he's pulling stuff out of the bins to accommodate his bag. And we're like, sir, don't do that. You're going to have to either check the bag or we're going to have to make room for you. So ultimately, we somehow get it all in there. Apologize to the guy whose stuff got handled. And then he's just kind of rude throughout, okay? And he's getting into arguments with people around him. And so I told, and this is when we're already in the air, he's starting to piss people off. And I told the other flight attendants working that section of the cabin, I said, hey, I don't care what this guy says. He's not getting any alcohol. It looks like he might have had a few. Okay. So the other flight attendant, Crystal, she comes up. She goes, he just asked for a double vodka cranberry. I go, he's not getting it. Give him his options. Anything non-alcoholic. If you need me, just wave at me. I'll come over and talk to him. Ultimately, I have to go talk to him. And I told him, I reiterated his options. You're not getting any alcohol on today's flight. You're being disruptive. You appear to be intoxicated. You're not getting any alcohol on today's flight. And he points to the lady next to him at 12. He goes, because of this fucking asshole? I go, well, yeah, you keep that up, and you're going to have a nice little date with the Salt Lake PD. And sure enough, he kept it up. He kept pissing the people off around him, getting into arguments, saying rude things. And we had the little Mormon guys from the Salt Lake PD come over and talk to him. And I'm sure by the end of their little conversation, like, one more thing. While you're here, sir, have you accepted Jesus as your Lord and Savior? Oh, let's see. Here's another note. Lady in 17C has period in seat. Left a bloody mess. Oh, that's fantastic. That's fantastic. Ladies, I know sometimes you forget to maybe put your feminine hygiene articles in your purse. Who hasn't forgotten to do that, right? But just so you know, most flight attendants are ladies. And a lot of them do carry stuff with them. Just, ask. Just ask. Just ask. Let's see. I had a couple of ideas for funny magazines. Colostomy Today. Seems like a good one. And Fisting in America. Probably want to save that one for last. Fisting in America. All right, I'm asking my stew friends what kind of stupid questions or stupid comments, questions, things that pastors have done, as said, and I'm getting a couple of responses. Let's see. What is that flashing light that's been following us for the last hour? Probably the strobes on the wing. That's my guess. Let's see. What is that white stuff below us? Is that snow or clouds? And she says that we were going to the desert in July. Wow. That's up there with my guy asking if Lake Michigan was mud. Is that mud? No, sir, that's Lake Michigan. That is Lake Michigan. All right, my friend Chingy. Initial descent. Pask asked me if he can get off of the plane now because he has a tight 10-minute connection in Amsterdam as he was walking towards the front of the plane with his luggage. I said, sir, we're still in the air. The passengers around him laughed their asses off. That's a funny one. Yeah, you can't get out now, sir. Unless you have a parachute. Good luck with that. Good luck with that. All right, here's another one from Chingy. A passenger grabs her arm and says, I would like very hot coffee. Very hot coffee. Okay, first of all, get your hands off me. Second, we have one temperature of coffee, which is airplane temperature coffee. Do you still want some? That kind of reminds me of the time I was going through the cabin doing a coffee service. And, I'm offering people coffee. The guy goes, "Oh, hey, how's the coffee?" I go, "It's terrible. You want some?" At that time, it was really awful coffee. I'm glad they changed it. It was like water. It was like water. It was like what the West Palm people always complained about. Now the coffee isn't half bad, but now you call this coffee? It's horrible. It's like, what I'm going to call my lawyer. Well, you do that, Grandma. Back at that time, it was pretty shitty coffee. You'd have to double bag it. It was so awful. All right, on to the next note. Let's see. Passenger. Orange juice, no ice. And a second later, I want ice. You just said no ice. I know, but I figured it was already chilled, and I didn't want it to be too cold. I'm like, planes don't have refrigerators. This is kind of up there with the people that ask for freshly squeezed orange juice. Do you have freshly squeezed orange juice? You find freshly squeezed orange juice on an airplane, and I'll have some magic beans for you. Let's see. Care for a beverage, sir? No ice. Okay. What do you want in the cup? Ginger ale. Okay. There's your ginger ale, no ice. People are fucking stupid, man. Okay, here's another one from Chingy. Chingy, I think you might be cursed, my dear. My goodness. Okay, this is a long one. Passenger comes up to her and goes, "Yeah, I'm a super duper cubic zirconia frequent flyer, and I demand to have this couple removed from my fucking flight." Your flight, sir? Yes, I am a super duper frequent flyer, and can you please kick these two people off of my flight? Okay, first of all, I'm going to need you to calm down, tell me what exactly happened, and I'm going to send in a red coat, a supervisor, because I can't have you both on my flight arguing. I'm just going to take all of you off. And she said that this guy wasn't even a frequent flyer with our airline. He was a frequent flyer from another airline, and not even a very high status at that. So I asked, what was his reasoning? And she goes, it's because he, the guy that was causing the problems, he was blocking the boarding and in the way to eavesdrop on a deadheading pilot's conversation. And the couple behind him, who were black, told him to move along. And this white dude is like, well, fuck you. Who the fuck who the fuck are you to tell me what to do? I'm a super duper high frequent flyer, cubic zirconia. Yeah. So he went bye-bye. We don't tolerate that on my airline. We don't tolerate that shit. This reminds me of a time. Oh God, doesn't matter where we're going. It's one of those flights that has lay flat seats. It's probably LA. And a black couple was separated by an aisle. Wife was in, I guess it was 3B or 2B, and husband was in 2C. They're separated by an aisle. And wife automatically just sat down in 2D, in the window seat, to sit next to the husband at 2C. Well, 2D shows up. And I decided to be diplomatic. I said, well, you know what? They're married. They're separated by the aisle. Would you be okay with sitting in 2B instead of 2D? He goes, nope. He takes one look at them, and he snarls up his lip, and he goes, nope. No, I have a problem with that. I'm going to take the seat I paid for. I can't just demand the guy move. It has to be for a safety reason, right? So I just go, okay, sorry, my dear. Just take your ticketed seat. So I gave them both 100,000 miles right in front of this asshole. And I made it very obvious why I was giving them 100,000 miles each. Because that guy was a douchebag. Racist fuck. Ain't got time for that. No time for that. No patience for that. All right, let's see what's next. This is from French Patty. And we call her Frenchie. She's one of our French LODs. And she's a little special. We love her Frenchie. We call her Frenchie. So Frenchie says she's crossing from coach to first class. And the first class passenger, do you work here? Oh, no, I'm not allowed. She twirls and walks back to coach. Another one from Frenchie. Let's see what she says. Okay, so Frenchie says, it's a Nice flight. And passenger first class, excuse me, I asked for 2 ice cubes in my rosé, and you put 3. Oh, I'm so sorry. As a French woman, I would never put ice cubes in my rosé. It's so gauche. Hence my tragic mistake. That's hilarious. Oh, Patty. She gives it to him. She's one of my heroes. I love me some Frenchie Patty. All right. Yeah, passengers can be, if it weren't for the passengers, this would be a really cool job. It's a cool job despite the passengers, but without the passengers, it'd be a really cool job. I mean, the planes are really quite nice when they're empty, I gotta tell you. Really nice planes. When they're empty, when they're full of dumb fucks, it's a whole other story. Not so nice. Now, it's less fun, and it's more of a job than something that could be enjoyable. I'm kind of thinking about an issue. Some of these people, besides being stupid and dumb, they're rude. So, I was doing a Charlotte turn out of it, and we're leaving Charlotte, and we're going back to one of our major hubs. Okay, and it's the last flight of the day. Everybody in this plane has a connection. Well, I'm standing up in front of the economy cabin during the little safety demonstration. We've got to stand there so we can answer their stupid questions. Is this a seatbelt? How do I pass the seatbelt? Stuff like that. I noticed a guy 2 rows in front of me has a big, giant iPad. And not like one of the little... No, this thing was like 12 inches, okay? And he's watching porn on this iPad. This thing is so big, Helen Keller could see it from the back of the plane. It's massive. And he's watching porn. I can see tits. I can see people fucking. I can see all this shit. And he's got it on his lap. Just like right there. He's in an aisle seat. Everybody can see this. Full flight. Women and children around. And so I tap him on the shoulder. I say, hey, maybe you shouldn't be watching that on a plane. I'm just saying. And so he turned it off for about 4 seconds. So the second I turn around to go back up to the front, he's watching it again, but now he's trying to obscure the nudity with his little Donald Trump hands. He's kind of covering things up, and I can see like boobs and stuff like in between his fingers, around his hands, like arms, legs. I know what it looks like when people are having sex. I'm not a child. I know what he's watching. And so I ask, I go, hey, sir, what are you watching that you feel like you need to cover up with your hands? He goes, I don't think that's any of your business. I go, well, it is my business. It's my plane. There's women and children around you. I need to know what you're watching. He goes, no, it's not. It is not your plane. It's none of your business. Okay. Fair enough. I go to the front. I let the flight leader know what's going on. He calls the captain. The captain wants this guy off. We go back to the gate. And now, ever since that fake doctor got beat up on that Republic flight, on that United Express flight, I don't know, a year or two ago, ever since that guy got his ass kicked, we can't just kick people off the plane anymore. It is really difficult to get someone removed from an aircraft. So now, this new procedure we have, which is a joke, you go back to the gate, and now you get all the local base leadership and managers in the jetway, and you have a little meeting, and you have a conference call with headquarters, and they discuss it, and they completely pretty much overrule us, right? And I had to go through this story like 6 times, and the people at headquarters are like, well, we don't know if you can actually remove someone for watching pornography on an aircraft. I go, well, actually, it's in our manual. It's in our manual. I even cited the page. I remembered exactly what page it's on because we just had a CBT about that. Now, I got to back up a little bit for some of you guys who are not flight attendants. Flight attendants are required by law to carry a manual. Every airline calls it something else. Some people call it an onboard manual. Some people call it an IOM, in-flight instruction manual, or whatever it is. Every airline has their name for it, but it is a manual that details virtually every aspect of our job. Anything that especially anything that touches what's called a federal aviation regulation. All the safety stuff, the firefighting procedures, medical procedures, boarding procedures, everything we have to do, closing bins, everything. I mean, even little stuff, things you would think would have to be in a manual or in a manual. Everything is spelled out in a manual. It's required by law. So I had to cite the page from my manual to these people in headquarters that think they know everything. And they're like, oh, yeah, we see that. But, we have concerns about social media backlash and it was et cetera, et cetera. And I said, okay, well, I understand that. However, there's about 45 people that are going to miss their last flight of the day in the connecting city. So imagine the backlash about that. I mean, we went in circles for at least a half hour on a conference call about getting this guy off a plane for watching porn. It's ridiculous. Just back us up. If that was one message I had for anybody who's in management listening, back up your flight attendants. We are on the ground, so to speak, in real time dealing with these issues. We have a lot of experience dealing with these issues. When we identify a passenger that's a problem and we say that we want them off, back us up. Because these people tend to become a problem later. And sure enough, this guy was a problem later. He was a big fucking problem later. Not big enough to cause the police to come to the aircraft, but he was an issue. And I had to write it up, of course. And I mentioned in my little write-up that I did not feel supported by management. They didn't like that. Oh, they took issue. I got 4 phone calls from 4 different managers, including one of our base directors, because I said I didn't feel supported. And I wasn't supported. Had you listened to me, the whole thing would have been avoided. But I digress. Let's see. Let's move on. Let's go back to something funny, shall we? Oh, God. These people, I'm telling you, they piss me off. They really piss me off. They're horrible. Horrible, horrible people. Not all of them, of course. People listening to this, you're fine. I understand that. I understand that. Obviously of higher intelligence. If you can behave like a normal civilized person. I'll give you an example. People like to walk around aircraft in bare feet or in socked feet. And they will go to the lavatory barefoot. A public airplane lavatory barefoot. I have stopped people from taking their children into the lavatory barefoot. I said to this lady, I said, you might want to put some shoes on him. What do you mean? I go, that's not water on the floor. Oh, it'll be okay. And so I said to her when she came out, so like, do you normally ask your child to stand in other people's urine? She didn't like that. I don't like your tone. What's your name? Oh, it's Steve. My name is Steve. When anyone asks me for my name is Steve. And to really confuse them, I'll go with Steve, but with a PH, so make sure you spell it right. And they look at me. Steve with a PH. Steve with a PH. I'm telling you, there is some poor schmuck out there named Steve wondering what he's done to piss off so many people. I kind of feel bad for that, Steve. Maybe I should change up my fake name. Rotate names. I should get like a list of fake names. Jimmy. Billy. Most of the time people think I'm saying Billy. My name is Dylan. It's not Billy. It doesn't even sound the same. The deaf fucking pilots. Billy? No. Dylan. With a D. And not Billy. Oh. And then they still don't compute. I have to write it down. Pilots are freaking deaf. I don't understand why they're so freaking deaf. It is quiet in the flight deck. I've been in flight decks. You can hear people talk in an airplane flight deck. It's quiet up there. The galleys, on the other hand, are really loud because there are cabin doors on either side of the galley. When they whistle, they get moisture in the seals, make all kinds of noise. You can hear all the airflow over the fuselage. It's loud in a galley. We have to yell at each other to be heard. And the whole cabin can hear us talking about having our testicles laminated or whatever it is that we're doing. Whatever it is we're talking about that's completely inappropriate, the entire airplane can hear it. But we can't hear each other in the galley. We have to scream. And in fact, that reminds me of a time. Oh, this is absolutely disgusting. So brace yourself. Brace yourself. We go out into the cabin to do a second service. We come back and we find a soiled diaper in the food cart. Someone changed their baby's diaper and put the diaper in the cart with all of the food. Yeah, really happened. True story. True story. We go on the PA and we say that whoever brought the soiled diaper and stuffed it in the food cart needs to come back and get it. So the guy, to his credit, came back to get it. And we're like, you just ruined all of the food in this airplane. We can't sell this. We can't serve it. We can't eat it. You contaminated everything in this cart with your diaper. What made you think it was a trash can? There's no trash in it. It had drawers of food. I mean, come on. That's where a diaper goes. So we made him pick it up and put it in the lavatory trash. Fucking moron. I mean, stupid. I mean, how stupid. This guy has a job. That's what's really puzzling. Is who is employing these stupid fucking people and giving them money so they can buy plane tickets? That's what I want to know. Deep thoughts. Big questions. Big questions. Okay. All right, my friends. I think we're coming towards the end of our little podcast here, of the Grumpy Stews. I'm going to leave you with one last thing. This is one last thing that I've written down. It was on an old trip sheet from 2014. So this is a few years ago. It was 4 years ago. And so I'm going to leave you on this note. Hope you enjoy. Let's see. It says, old lady rinsed dentures in a cup of water, then drank the water. You're welcome. You're welcome. I'm here for you people. I am here. I do hope you've enjoyed today's episode of The Grumpy Stew. Be sure to like and subscribe. Tell your friends. Do the RSS thing and all that crap. Stitcher, whatever the hell it is you're using. If even the Facebook, like, subscribe. Tell me about the stupid things that pastors have said, done, or asked you in the past. Share your stories. Maybe we'll circle around and we'll do another episode like this again. But once again, we thank you for listening, and we'll see you next time.